Hello, everyone, and welcome to Context, the show where we use clickbait titles that are not actually clickbait. So today, we're actually not going to be dealing with a supervillain like we normally cover, but rather a super douchebag. So in this story, Spider-Man goes against a school principal. Look, I don't even want to explain this anymore. This is gonna be a short episode, so let's just get into it. So our story begins with Spider-Man sitting in class with his quote-unquote friends, who are really just a bunch of, I guess, middle school, high school students. Maybe this is some kind of event at the school where he's like visiting the kids, or maybe, probably a more likely explanation, these are kids from like the electric company or something. The electric company are the people who, are making these weird Spider-Man comics, Spidey stories. So yeah, maybe in that context it makes sense. A student actually asks Spider-Man what his favorite song is, and he says Jelly Belly. Almost guaranteed Jelly Belly is probably not his favorite song. Also, if anyone could tell me what the heck this song even is, because I can't find it. If you know a song that came out in the 1970s called Jelly Belly, please let me know. I'm thinking maybe it's like a kid's song I just never heard growing up. That's the only way I can explain it. But yeah, please let me know if you know what Jelly Belly is. Regardless, they open their music books, and all of a sudden this kind of like weird confetti stuff flies out, or at least that's what I think it is. It looks like paper. Wow, what a very minor inconvenience from this prankster. What kind of prank is this? Am I just not familiar with this? Is these like potato skins or something? Like, was this like a popular thing in the 70s? I just don't understand why, like, just, having some confetti pop out of a book, why that's some huge prank. Maybe I'm just weird. I don't know. So after this, Spider-Man, he follows his nose, which leads him to the kitchen, where they're making like chocolate pie. Like, apparently, Spider-Man doesn't like chocolate pie, so he doesn't eat it. I guess the only other explanation I can is that it like didn't smell like chocolate pie. But if that was the case, why didn't anyone else smell it? I'm probably overthinking this. Essentially, he didn't want any of the chocolate pie. But it turns out that was the best decision he could make, because it turns out it wasn't chocolate, but a mud pie. Which, someone pranked the kitchen, I guess. And then Spider-Man's Spidey sense goes off and tells him that this was the work of the prankster. Probably. I didn't know Spider-Man could do this. I don't know if he could tell, like, if a pie was sabotaged. Like, when was this an ability? I thought Spider Sense was supposed to be like, an immediate thing. I didn't know it could do this. I didn't know it basically made him clairvoyant to know stuff like this. But right at that exact moment, there is another classroom getting pranked. And this time, their fingers are stuck to the typewriter keys. It's a sticky scene. You gotta love 70s dialogue. But this triggers Spider-Man to be like, you know what, enough's enough. And he decides to tell the principal, as one should in this kind of situation. But after he snoops around the principal's room, he sees that the principal actually is the prankster. Why would the principal do this? Why would he make the entire school less efficient by doing this kind of thing? Like, isn't the whole point of the principal to help the school operate smoothly? Like, he's literally making his own teachers' jobs harder. Like, the teachers seem to have engaged students here. Like, I'm sure that's already difficult. And he comes in and he makes it even harder for the kids to focus. Also, a little side tangent here. This is kind of done after the fact because I did notice. But why does one of the students look like he's like 35? So Spider-Man waits for the principal to come in, back to his office, and then he webs him up, which, like, isn't this kind of assault though? Like, I know the principal is in the wrong for like pranking everyone, but I don't think Spider-Man can just sneak up and just web up a random person like that. Like, he's not a supervillain. He's just kind of a douchebag. So, I think this might not be a good thing, but whatever, I digress. It turns out the reason he was doing this is because he wanted to teach the kids a lesson. Because they always pranked him, so he wanted to give them a taste of their own medicine. Wow. They're kids, man. Like, you didn't expect this kind of stuff when you took this job? Well, the kids, they end up forgiving him, and they say, hey, let's let bygones be bygones. But, at the very end, the principal got his hand stuck on the doorknob from glue. This was dumb. I get what the principal was doing, I do. But you can't do this. You can't feed people like bud pies. Like, I'm sure that's a health code violation, man. You can't do that. Like, what are you doing? Like, you should actually just be fired for this. Like, you should not be allowed to be a principal at a school after this. That's all I got. I hope you enjoyed this dumpster fire for what it was that I just presented to you. Until next time, I'll see you later. Like, comment, all that good stuff. And yeah, you have a good one. See ya.